Hey Capricorn, this is Alexandra, and I'm here to bring you your love and relationships tarot and oracle card reading. This reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, or anywhere else you have Capricorn in your chart. Although the video will be published in May of 2020, it will resonate at any given moment in time. And as always, if the reading does resonate, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves through this really tough time we are having with coronavirus. I know quarantine life for a lot of couples have been very difficult. So I hope you guys are doing okay. You have the Page of Swords closed out with the Knight of Swords. Ugh. Angels are saying, are you finding your voice, Capricorn? Are you finding your voice about money? A little martyrdom going on. Yeah. Even though this is love and relationships, this deals with the relating part of relationships. So what you're doing, what the person is doing. And relationships could be personal, familial, social. You know, doesn't mean all the time romantic. And at the end, of course, I'll pull the three Romance Angel Oracle cards. So what do we have here, my Cappies? Communication. Communication with the young person. Ooh, with the Five of Swords. Oh, somebody tried to get over on you. Somebody's lying to you and being deceitful. Telling you what you think you want to hear. What I'm also getting to is there might be a minimal conversation, right? Like somebody cut you off or reduced the amount of conversations that you guys were used to having. That makes you really nervous and has you feeling some type of way. I feel like, you know, you spend a lot of time in deep thought. If I said deep thought, I'm being nice, right? I really do mean deep prayer or deep manifestation, like trying to manifest this situation or this person. Angels are saying asking for guidance. You know, I always point out here with the Four of Pentacles that these three pentacles here, it's almost like, you know, he has view of those three pentacles here, but then these three swords here, but then this sword here, if he needs to reach down and grab it, he has access to it as well. So to an extent, it's almost like, you know, you're taking time out to actually think, contemplate, and, you know, maybe plan for a sticky situation. But at any given moment, you know, if you have to protect yourself, you will. So it's almost like, you know, for these two cards here, it almost looks like you're preparing for the worst. Right? Not only that, but I think in one of your readings before, Capricorn, it came up that you guys are afraid of the dark. It doesn't mean literally, but also figuratively, as in, you know, there are some people, nobody likes the unknown. Nobody. Okay? But for you guys, you're deathly afraid of the unknown. Because Saturn, Taskmaster, is like, look, give me any situation and I'll get through it. But what Saturn doesn't say is give me the darkness and I'll get through it. So for a lot of you guys, this here too is almost like you sticking your head in the sand or you closing your eyes in the darkness to keep from being afraid of the darkness, right? And what's unfortunate but fortunate for you, Capricorn, is that may be a coping mechanism that actually may work for you. You know what I mean? It may work for you. Let's see how it turns out. The Lovers and the Hierophant. This feels like a marriage, right? The Hierophant and the Lovers here. So for a lot of you, it's almost like this is what you want. This is on your mind. You want your marriage back, or you want to get married, or a lot of you could be headed towards marriage. What I'm also getting too is almost like you want God to intervene, or, you know, you could be praying that this other person comes back to you. Yeah. What I'm getting is that, you know, this to me is my prayer card too. It's like you're spending a lot of time in prayer for, look at these, I put them backwards. For some of you too, it's almost like you feel like whomever this person is, this is your person. Like you feel like this is your soulmate, right? And it's almost like, okay, God, well, if this is not my soulmate, please bring my soulmate in. But deep down inside, subconsciously, you feel like whoever it is that you're dealing with is your soulmate. So it's almost like you think you're tricking the universe, but you're not. Sorry. And that's what it is. The King of Pentacles with the, wow, Two of Swords. Making a blind decision about your security and your status. You know what you want. It's almost like, yeah, you want everything to be back how it was. You want to be, you know, secure and established in your relationship and situation. The King of Pentacles. Then you have that Two of Swords where it's like, okay, I know I have to cut one of these. It's like I have two choices and I have to kill one of them, and so the other one can live, right? And there is no right decision. There's no wrong decision. Like, you don't know what to do. You don't know which way to go. You don't know what's the right way of being or what's the wrong way of being. I just heard divine intervention. So to an extent, it's almost like if somebody else can make this decision for you, you'd be right fine with that, because it's so damn hard. I feel like, though, for those of you who have kids or property involved in this situation, you could, I don't feel like you're arguing. No. The Two of Swords just told me that you guys could be arguing or going back and forth over property or a property issue. And I feel like for those of you who have kids, you'll be rewarded the property just because, solely because you have the kids, or you'll be rewarded, how do I say this? You will come out of this, things will happen fairly for you, in your favor, because it kind of feels like, say for instance, you're the one who's still active, or I don't know, for some reason it's almost like maybe you're the primary caregiver to the kids, and or you may be thinking about kids long term. You know, yes, the establishment or buying a house. It also says to me too, the person who is currently paying for something is the person who's going to be rewarded. So as an example, if you live on the property, you're paying the rent, you're paying the bills, you'll be awarded whatever that is, right? Another way of looking at this as well is, especially this king here wanting things to be secure. For some of you, you could be giving up money, time, or other resources for the sake of this whole situation. So it's almost like you're heavily invested, right? Not only that, but what I'm also getting is that you keep throwing money at the situation, right? I can hear some of you saying, okay, well, you know what? You don't want to live in this area. We can move. We can go live over here. It's almost like you're kind of bending over backwards, forwards, side to side to make this situation work. And from a financial standpoint, you're just trying to do every and anything that it takes to work this situation out, right? Now, the Knight of Swords, my poor little card. The Knight of Swords comes rushing in with logic and communication and, you know, kind of new thinking. This is kind of a monkey wrench to an extent for me, right? That, especially paired with the Two of Wands, it's almost like you get thrown, golly, you got another two here. It's like you get thrown. I'm sorry. It's almost like however you're throwing money at the situation. Let me push these over. However you're throwing money at the situation, right? And making all these suggestions, just trying to be, you know, like a team player and, you know, just trying to be the solution, not necessarily the problem. It's almost like this person comes in or something happens that comes in. It's a monkey wrench that says, oh, by the way, change of plans. You know, that whole thing, you know, as far as, okay, we will move from the east side of town to the west side of town. You know what? We're just going to leave this state altogether. Or I'm going to leave the state. And now that kind of puts you in a position where it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know I can't leave. Like, you know I can't leave. What the fuck? Right? So now you're, instead of trying to figure out, say, for instance, a decision, now you have to figure out a whole new fucking path. Right? Because they came in and they basically just switched shit up on you and didn't give a fuck, by the way. Right? They just came in and just changed the whole freaking program. And now you're left to decide, am I going to go left or right? Right? Am I gonna stay here? You know, where the kids are already in their school district, they're pretty established. Or am I going to uproot everybody and move them, you know, to someplace completely different? Look at the cards that are here. Is the King of Hearts, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and that has that beautiful Ten of Pentacles again. To me, this is like your ideal situation, right? This is exactly what you want. I'm trying to get that card from behind there. This is exactly what you want. You want your family back. You want your loving in relationship back. You want a time when all we did was loved each other and loved our kids, and, you know, we worked and we had this great, beautiful, wonderful life, right? But that can't happen because, you know, somebody just came in and just kind of changed up the program, right? So now I have to make, you know, I have to decide, you know, do I take a leap of faith, right? And then be fucked up? Or do I let you go or let the situation go and be fucked up and be out on the cold by myself? Let you take the kids and then I'll be off on alone by myself. Right? Then having to financially support you in this other state with my kids. Right? So it's almost like, you know, it's a leap of faith ain't going to help you here, Capricorn, by the way. A leap of faith is not going to help you. I can hear some of you saying, well, Alex, what will help me? Do the math. For you as a Capricorn, you know, if you were a Pisces or Scorpio or Cancer, I could say feel it. Just go with what's in your gut. But you're a Capricorn. You don't play by those same rules. So I would just say to you, do the math, right? If it feasibly makes sense to stay here, keep the kids here, stay in this situation, then stay in this situation. If it does not make sense to make this situation, to stay in this situation, if the new scenario makes more sense, then go with the new scenario, right? But one thing that I know that I try to do in my own personal situations, when I try to make a decision, I try to look at each decision that I make like a year from now or 2 years from now and say to myself, okay, if I make this decision 2 years from now, will I be happy with it? If I make this decision 2 years from now, would I be happy with it? What does this look like in the future, right? that helps me personally. So hopefully maybe it'll help you too. All right. 3 romance angels cards. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. It's so crazy because I can read this whole scenario and then these cards just come in and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell, angels? Like, what the hell does this mean? And they will simply come back to me and be like, Alex, it just means that they're kind of hemmed up with whatever's going on here, that every now and then it doesn't hurt to just be lighthearted and, you know, welcome in like maybe new activity, right? To help them through this stuff. Because sometimes to make a decision, you have to kind of walk away from it, spend time elsewhere, and then when you come back, you're dealing with it from a set of fresh eyes. So for you, Capricorn, yeah, just maybe take a break and have some fun, right? Go out and flirt and meet some people. The next one, getting to know each other. Yeah, so you could actually have somebody who's lingering, who you just met, who, you know, is not going to be the end of the world to give them a little time, attention, love, and affection. I'm just saying. Ooh, passion, and there she blows. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Okay? So it sounds like, you know, in order to not get too caught up in all of this, you may have to just kind of take a break and go have a little horizontal fun or romantic fun, okay? To relieve yourself from all of this that's going on. I don't feel like this could be the same person too, by the way. As in, you know what? We're going to take a pause from all the decision making and let's just go out on a date, right? Let's just do something different. Because I kind of feel like for you, Capricorn, that you are craving for the good old days, right? And I kind of feel like, yes, this flirting, this, you know, this footsie and just, you know, just lighthearted stuff will actually do you some good. And it actually will help you. For those of you, you could be in an established relationship and y'all are trying to figure out, yeah, do we uproot or do we kind of stay behind? Right? And you may need to take a break from that so you can go and have some fun. And then when you come back to it, you'll have fresh new energy and you can make your decision. Okay? Something is brand new. It makes you really nervous and scared. It's like you feel like you know what to do. And your stability is what's at stake here. It looks as though whatever this new offering is, it could lead to stability, potential stability, but it's not a decision that you want to make too quickly or irrationally. Okay? You perhaps got, you know, you fell for this before where somebody kind of came in and turned your shit upside down and you just kind of went with the flow and it didn't work out for you. It's almost like it didn't work out for you, even though you love this person. It's almost like you had to choose between like your relationship and their stability and the stability of your position in your family, your position of stability in your family and how you provide for your family. And you just don't know what to do. You just don't know what's the best path to take. Okay? But angels are saying, you know, flirt, getting to know each other and being passionate. Trust me when I tell y'all, I'm human just like y'all. So when I see these, I'm like, what in the hell does that have to do with that? But again, I know how the universe works. Whereas, you know, it doesn't look cohesive here, right? It doesn't look like it makes sense here. But from a universal standpoint, this is what divine order looks like. So it's almost like you have this very serious decision and the angels and universe are like, go outside and have some fun. Go play. And you're like, what? You know? But they're like, no, go outside and go have some fun. And when you come back in the house, you'll be able to make your decision. So anyway, Capricorn, I hope that helps. That's really, really, you know something? If it wasn't a tough decision, everything would have been just cohesive. Everything would have just flowed. The romance cards too. But because it is so kind of paradoxical and contradictory, that just says to me how deep and serious this situation is. That you are so far on one side that you're up in the air on the other side, and angels are saying, okay, bring that down, bring that more into play, and let this one go up in the air. We don't need to maybe make a decision now. Let's go out and have some fun and, live life a little bit. Then we'll come back and do it later on. All right, my lovely Capricorns, I love you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Bye.